Afternoon everyone, welcome to today's Garage Cricket. Today's Garage Cricket is looking at developing your hands, your balance, your stillness at the crease. Now we're probably not going to see many orthodox shots being played in today's Garage Cricket. It's all about you making it up to counter the problems that we're faced. Some of the balance exercises will make things a little bit difficult, so just make it up as you go along. Just find a way to hit the ball, and that idea of learning about how you can hit the ball and the different shapes you can get into, you can then borrow to make you a better batsman. So give it a go. So the first one is really simple and it's going to seem a little bit strange, but effectively you're not allowed to move your feet whilst batting in this exercise here. So normally footwork is so important, one of the things we're always desperate for you to get right because it helps massively. Here, we're actually going to ban moving your feet, so you need to remain stable in that position. It's going to be great because hopefully it will train your eyes and your hands to become better when the ball isn't maybe positioned perfectly where you want it to be. And secondly, it will also mean that you need to consider how you can shift your other parts of your body to allow you to get on top of a ball, to direct it down into the ground and control your shot. So, let's see it in action then. So, as a right-hander here, my right foot and left foot here are both planted. I'm not allowed to move them. So, as you can see through that there, it does constrain you a little bit, which is difficult, but then you need to try and work out how to solve that problem. And I want you to play around with different types of shots that you were able to play in that stuck position. Now, obviously, we want you to move your feet in a game and so on, so we're not trying to train bad habits here, we're trying to encourage other things to develop by restricting the feet, and then when your feet come back in, then all of a sudden you should find things a little bit easier. So our second one today, again it revolves around feet. I'm only going to be allowed to stand throughout the duration of it on my front foot. So we're building a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of stability, and we need to find a way again to adapt the rest of our body to allow us to be still so that we can play the shots. You can choose whether you want your foot facing forward as if you stepped forward or if you want it side on. Let's see it in action then. So I'm taking my back foot off the ground. And now if you want to, for conditioning, you can say throughout the over, you're only allowed to stay, oh dear me, I've really lost my balance already. You're still only allowed to stay on that foot. So if you've got to go fetch your ball, so hopefully you can see there how that exercise is really making me think about my balance, how I can stabilise myself to allow me to play these different shots. Yes, they don't necessarily look like your standard cricket shots, but it's all good habits to develop. The next one is just the reverse of that, so this time it is my back foot. So for me as a right-hander, my right foot I need to stay on. Again, just focusing on keeping your weight in a position which allows you to be still and get out to the ball. And so on. Another one you can maybe create is to design your own kind of balance board here. So for this, I've got myself just a little plank of wood, a slightly bigger plank of wood there. I can put the wood down there and then I can lay the plank on top of that, which means that when I stand on it, obviously as I shift my weight, it's going to make things a little bit difficult. I can obviously make it more difficult by using a larger kind of block of wood here, or ideally I'd want to use something maybe round, which would make it even harder for us to develop through there. And then when you're standing here, you'll feed your ball, and again you're focusing on how you can balance yourself and keep yourself nice and still. Let's see it in action. Right, so I'm here on my homemade balance board, as you can see. Now, ideally, to make it really hard, you don't want to hear that noise there, which shows that I'm putting all my weight on one there. I want to try and keep both ends off the floor while I play the shot. So that one there, you can see, unsuccessful because the weight came down. But it's all good. Balancing practice. That one there, a little better. So you can get nice and creative. You've got something like a Bosu ball at home. This is absolutely brilliant. You can extend this practice even further if you want with your 1 foot whilst you're playing again. Like, be nice and creative to challenge your batting. I thought I'd try one with a paint can, see if how that looks. Could be a little bit too difficult, this one, maybe a little bit too dangerous. We'll see how we go. Obviously, when you're creating at home, please make sure it's safe. Oh, that is difficult. So I could also maybe elevate myself. You see, I've got a couple of paint cans here that I'm stood on. It's going to make the balancing a little bit more difficult because I've got less area to stand on, and I need to really think here about how I'm going to stabilise myself. Again, the shots don't look particularly orthodox necessarily. I've just got to try and find a way to play. Okay, again, I've made it more difficult. I've put the paint cans on their sides here. Okay, so I'm balancing on curved shape now. It's all about, can I keep my eyes level? That time, not quite as successful as I'd like to have been.